To use the pricing table widget, go to your website's backend, see aThemes add-ons, and go to the search function and simply search for pricing. Here you can see the widget. We're just going to click to activate it. It's going to be saved automatically. Now go to the page where you want to add the widget. Search for it or look at under aThemes add-ons. Drag and drop it. And here's some default content for this widget. Now this is a single table, so if you want more, you're going to have to simply click on duplicate. Let's do 3 like this. Now just go to advanced and click on grow. Okay, now let's have a look at some of the options. So first of all, we have the header section. We can choose an icon or an image. You can see an icon by default here. We can also add an image if we want. Something like this. We can change the title or change the HTML tag for the title. We can add a subtitle if we want. This is optional, so you can just remove it if you don't need it. We can change the alignment. And that's all about the header section. Let's move over to the pricing section. We can change the currency symbol and its position. We can add a full price, for example, if this is a discounted price. Of course, the amount, the period, so let's say per year. We can add a description to the price if it's needed. And of course change the alignment for this pricing section. Let's move over to the features. So you can have an unlimited number of features. You can drag and drop them to rearrange them if you need, and change the alignment. So let's go inside the feature. Now each feature can have its own icon. Like this. You can slash the text. For example, let's go to the last feature, slash the text. So this is useful if, for example, you're going to have a feature that's not available in this plan but is available in the next plan. Okay, let's go back to the first one. So you can change the icon color specifically for this feature, also the text color. So you can do something extremely custom. Alright. And as I said, you can rearrange them as needed, like this. For example, so the second feature becomes the first one and the first one becomes the second feature. Let's move on now to the footer. You can add some text here. This is if you need an extra description, something like 30-day money back guarantee or something like that. You can hide the button if you don't need it. You can change the link, the alignment, of course. You can also add an icon to the button. So let's say this one, something like this. Change this position, the spacing. Let's go to the ribbon now. So there are a few styles you can select here. It can be a circle. It can be before the title and the whole header. A triangle like this. A flag. And the ribbon, which is the default display. Of course, you can also hide it if you don't need it. Now the order section. Here you can rearrange the elements. For example, maybe I want the footer to go first. So this will just have to have the smallest number. So this is going to be 0 and it's going to be first. To move, for example, the pricing last, it has to have the biggest number, so let's say 10. And it's just going to be moved at the bottom. Of course, you don't have to worry about these borders because you can simply remove them afterwards from the styling options. Okay. Now let's go to this pricing plan. Let's go to the styling tab. So we have a few options here, like general options for the wrapper. So you can set a max width, you can change the margin. This is useful, for example, maybe you want to make this plan featured and you want to make it stand out somehow, so we're just going to move it like this, a bit above the others. You can change the padding, border radius, something like that. The background, of course, you can set a custom background color or an image, a border, and of course some box shadow like this. Okay. You also have styling options for all the elements, like the icon, for example. You can change the size, the color, the wrapper size. Let me show you something like this. So you can do something like this. Maybe also add some border radius here. You can basically achieve any design you want. You can space it a bit more from the title, like this if you want. Okay, let's go to the header now. So plenty of options are available here as well. You can change the margin. This is useful to control the spacing between the elements. Something like this. Okay, the padding, of course, the background. Let's add some background color. Let's do it like this, for example. And some padding. Plenty of designs you can achieve by changing these options right here. Let me just make this darker like this. Okay. Add a bit of border radius to it. Okay, something like this. Okay. The typography, of course, you can change it. Maybe you need a bigger title or something, and of course the family can also be changed. Now let's move to the price. You can change the padding. You can add a border to it, or remove the border because it has one already. And of course you can change the typography, the colors for each of the elements. For example, you can set a different color for the currency if you want to make it stand out, something like this. Or go to the typography, make it bigger, smaller. Now let's go to the features. So you can again change the margin, so you can alter the spacing between the elements. I mean between the features section and the rest of the elements. You can also change the spacing between the features themselves, like this. Change the color of the text. Of course, I've shown you that previously, that you can also change the color individually for each feature. You can change the icon size, something like this, if you need it bigger or something. The spacing also. So let's move to the footer now. You can change the footer text. We don't have some footer text here for this pricing plan, but if we did, you could have changed it from here, the text color and the typography. And of course you can change the styling for the button for both the normal and the hover states. So let's add some border radius, for example, something like this. So this is specifically for this button, not for all the plans, just for this pricing plan right here. You can add some box shadow, all the options that you would expect to find for a button inside Elementor, you can also find here. Padding, everything you need. Now the last styling option is the ribbon, so you can change the text color, the typography, and of course the background color. That's it. Thank you for watching.